What? I wasn't looking at my secret stash of illegal games. What? Today we're taking a look at banned video games, you know, like Rock Band. It's a topic you don't often see people on YouTube discussing nowadays, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because these games are just that offensive to the general public, and you'd need to be a mental delinquent to play them. Oh shit, the kids are still here! Amy!
What?
Look under your bed!
Why?
I got you a present!
Wow, thanks! What's in this box?
Okay, we're safe. As silly as this sounds, video games and controversy go hand in hand, like bread and butter, or beer and my father. Unless you're thinking about games hiding in the deep web like Sad Satan, the first series you think of when controversy and games come together is most probably Grand Theft Auto, which has been altered, censored, cut, or outright banned in multiple countries for the subjects it tackles like drugs, violence, misogyny, racism, and even And no, I'm not just talking about the hot coffee mod, although this image is making my hot coffee go cold. My point is, games are often censored, changed, or outright banned all over the world for a variety of reasons all the time. And it could be for understandable reasons, like Omega Labyrinth Z for the inclusion of inappropriate scenes with people who appear to be underage. This game because, well, why do you think? Or this game, which is a JFK assassination simulator. Oh, this isn't how I remember the footage looking! They could be banned for utterly boring reasons, like publisher arguments or legal disputes, which I honestly have no interest in whatsoever. Or they could be banned for morbidly over-the-top reasons, like Crash Bandicoot 2 being censored in Japan, because this death animation of Crash being flattened looked remarkably similar to a severed head and shoes left behind by a Japanese serial killer going around at the time. No, that is not a joke. And if you live in the US or the UK, you'd be surprised at the sheer volume of games that just aren't legally available in many other countries. I mean, seriously, just go to Wikipedia and see for yourself. You've got the usual suspects like China, who banned Animal Crossing New Horizons, probably because Tom Nook was a threat to their government. But that's to be expected, since China are well known for banning a lot of things, including Facebook, Google, and babies. But did you know that Roblox was banned in Guatemala because of it putting children at risk online? Or that Half-Life 2 was banned in Greece because of its dystopian setting? What is this? 1984? See? I get the joke! And if you want to talk about countries banning things, look no further than Germany. My god, look at all of these banned games. They're just as good at banning video games as they are at losing wars. Aliens vs Predator, Dead Rising, Mortal Kombat 2011, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, Little Britain, the video game. No one is safe. Quick everybody, hide that paper cut, or Germany will ban you for excessive violence. Problem is though, most of these examples are related to more recent games, and I'm sure you can imagine in today's day and age, there's just way too many to go through, and there's way too many overly specific reasons on why some games do get banned in some countries. So I thought it would be funnier to look at retro banned games instead, from much longer ago, when the world was in a different place, and we weren't sure if the latest copy of Night Trap was just a stupid FMV game, or an instructional video teaching our kids how to kidnap and murder young women while walking around like chimps. You know, back in the good old days, like when the UK refused to release the Rockstar game Bully unless the name was changed, because of the awful school bullying problem we had at the time. Couldn't call it Bully. So when we got it, we had to change the name to Canis Canum Edit. But you still run around a school kicking fat kids, so well done for fixing the bullying problem. Plus, you get a weird rush discovering physical games that were initially banned or deemed illegal in other countries. It's a lot different from just downloading something online. So today I managed to get my hands on 8 physical copies of elusive retro games that were banned in all sorts of countries for all sorts of reasons. But don't tell anyone, or else the policeman will come and get me. Guys, I told you not to tell anybody! Great! Now I'm gonna go to prison, aren't I? I can't go there, I'll get thrown around like a tea towel.
Good day, my name is Mr. Bookcase, and I'll give you a box.
Oh, thanks. What's in it? Awesome! How lucky am I, eh? You know, for a second I was really worried that it was a warrant for my arrest or something. Hello, I'm Spons! Oh, kill me. If you couldn't tell, this video is 100% going to be demonetized and blacklisted by YouTube, so because of that, I'm extremely thankful for today's video's sponsor, the new mobile action game, Mech Arena. And look, Cads, they sent you a care package. Yes, they certainly did, didn't they? So, what have we got here?
brown paper.
Oh, okay, we got some tissue. Oh, that's cool. I've always wanted some of that. And we've got, oh, dude, there's a tin of biscuits. Oh, cool, what's this? Oh, we got an art book. Sweet, oh, nice, awesome. Add that to my shelf. And apparently we also have some blueprints here in case you want to build a mech yourself. And we got this thing here, which is really heavy. I'm not sure what it is though. Wait. What's going on here? What's this?
Mech Arena is a new third-person mech shooter built from the ground up to promote friendly, competitive mobile play. It's free to play.
I've never seen a company ever do this before. This is so cool. This is like if you go to a party shop and Elvis sings to you in a birthday card. Oh, lovely. Look at that. We got a metal circle. I've always wanted one of them. The heads or tails, Ollie?
Tails.
Tails. Actually, don't bother. That hurts. And underneath the metal circle, we've got got some foam. You can take that home with you, Ollie. Then we have at the very bottom of this little tin. Oh, look. Oh, it's my little man. It's my little man, and he can stand up there on his own. But apparently, he also, if you don't want him to stand on the filthy floor, he even has a little plate to be served for your main course. I think I know what this may be. Yes. It's a yes, it's a t-shirt. You know what? I know exactly who can wear this.
Gee, thanks, Dad.
Anytime, Spons. Did you just call me Dad?
Mech Arena is a mobile competitive mech battle game that properly tests your skill and properly rewards you for getting God. And when I say test your skill, I'm not mincing words, because that's the key market that Mech Arena has set out to grab, and in my opinion, it does it really well. During my downtime while making this video and wondering if it's going to get my entire channel deleted, I've been playing Mech Arena a ton, and here are some of my favourite mechs I've been playing around with. First off being Guardian, who's slow as sludge and takes a lot of damage, but equally deals a lot of damage, and that simply feels good. And secondly, I've been enjoying Killshot, who's once again short on health and isn't as heavy with the weaponry as Guardian, but the speed more than makes up for it. And if you don't like plodding around, Killshot is the unicycle for you. At the time this video goes out, Mech Arena has launched globally, and to celebrate that, there's a huge in-game event right now that rewards you daily during the first week of you signing in. So what are you waiting for? Don't you like rewards? What are you? A bronze medalist? The game is completely free to play on Android and iOS, and you can use my personal link in the description below or the QR code here to get the black carbon skin, 300 A coins, and a buttload of credits to help kickstart your game. And hey, look out for my username Caddicarus. Add me and then we might be able to get into some fights. In real life. On the street. Thanks again to Mech Arena for the sponsor, and now I have legs. Time to run away.
Get off! Legs are overrated. I want wheels. You can't run anyone over with legs. But you can do that in Carmageddon, our first banned retro game from 1997. At least it was banned in a lot of countries when it first came out on the PC, including the UK to begin with, because the fact that you got points for deliberately ploughing down pedestrians and collecting their wheat didn't go down too well for our cute little government, and the UK refused to even certify an age rating to the original game for 10 months unless all blood and gore was removed. In a game about running people over. Because of this, most of the legal UK PC copies you can get of Carmageddon are censored with zombies and green blood, including the opening cutscene. Oh no, what a disaster! What I'm playing though is the 1999 PS1 re-release exclusive to Europe, which was the same thing as the original game that was first banned, but with added new tracks and cars, and reinstated with a higher age rating for UK audiences. And they are desperate to make that perfectly clear. Don't play this game if you're under 18! Don't play this game if you're under 18! Don't play this game if you're under 18! But if you're 15 years old, it's all good. You know what's really bizarre though? The PS1 version I'm playing for this video is more or less the same kind of thing as the original PC release, but only slightly different in the weirdest, tiniest possible ways that still keeps all the violence perfectly intact. So, why did they bother changing anything? So right, we originally banned this game because it was glorifying roadkill but with people instead of badgers, and that's cool, whatever. So this PS1 re-release has zombies walking around instead of people, sure. I'm with you so far. But despite that, we don't have the green zombie blood in this version. We have red people blood, which was one of the original issues that the UK forced the developers to change for the PC version in the first place. Huh. So in essence, this means the PS1 version is just as violent as the original, but the pedestrian models are just coloured a bit different, which is even funnier considering that the graphics are so awful you can't even tell what these things are to begin with. Is it a zombie? A person? A dog standing up? A collection of assorted baguettes? With the constant gushing torrents of red blood, I honestly had no idea these were supposed to be zombies until I watched this footage back and checked it again. So this change is absolutely redundant as far as I'm concerned, and that means that this version of the game is practically identical to the very game they wanted banned in the first place. But then, what else do you expect from an initially banned version of a game that has 18+ plastered all over it, but is also suitable for 15-year-olds? Even the intro cutscene is totally different, which is even more confusing because the original uncensored opening didn't even have any blood in it, yet the gameplay here does. And what is this cutscene supposed to be anyway? This isn't violent mayhem and destruction as much as it is a game of bumper cars. Then your man makes this grin like he's eating his own face, and then this Texan appears and makes this face, which should have been enough of a reason to keep the game banned forever. And even after all of that, they don't even hit the sheep. Can't run over people, can't run over sheep, whatever next. Soon we won't be allowed to run over anybody. Not to mention, check out Die Hard Trilogy that came out the previous year. This wasn't banned, this wasn't banned, and this specific moment of running over an innocent bystander with blood all over the windshield was not banned. But this? Oh, no, this is too much. At the end of the day, though, is the PS1 version of this game worth going out of your way to get a copy of? No. I don't remember the last time I drove a car in a game that was this stiff. It barely feels like the wheels even turn. You're supposed to be racing in all of these different tracks, but if the one thing that you need to be able to race, that is, being able to drive the car, doesn't work that good, then you haven't got much of a racing game, have you? The handbrake is terrible, the brakes in general are terrible, you've got no other choice of car at the start of the game with better steering. Oh, actually, scratch that. This isn't steering, it's a frontal lobotomy. A crash course in survival, eh? More like a crash course in how to make a bad game. Yeah! In fact, if these zombies were supposed to be people to begin with, why are they all gathering in their dozens in the middle of a toxic waste factory with steaming sewage and bombs everywhere? You didn't need to change this game, Britain. These people clearly deserve to die. But oh no, we are good little boys and girls from the land of bad teeth and a big clock, so we're not allowed to run over anybody, even if it's fake. Well, you know what? That changes now.
Hello, it's me.
Yeah, that'll teach you a lesson, UK government. And speaking of lessons, I didn't learn any.
What are you buying?
No, nothing, thank you.
What are you selling?
We get these door-to-door salesman types a lot around here.
FIFA.
Excuse me, you need to leave. This is a neighborhood watch area. Well, okay, if you've got things that upset the church.
Minute.
Okay, what have you got then? Oh wow, The Punisher! A Marvel game that was banned? Now I'm interested.
Is that all, stranger?
So here's The Punisher, a Marvel comic book character video game that was banned in multiple countries. With Marvel being owned by Disney nowadays, that is a sentence I don't think we'll ever read again. Unless Spider-Man turns out to be a public groper. But even though this was indeed banned in multiple countries, the UK still somehow managed to slip it into their little colon. Because this here is a censored version, which you still can't buy in a load of other countries. Hello everyone, it's me, your favourite YouTube content creator, Steve. Because it was only one part of the entire game that was censored to avoid the ban hammer in the UK. The rest of it, as far as I could tell, is basically exactly the same. Leading me to ask, why bother censoring any of it to begin with? And what was it that they changed? Well, sit down, shut up, wait, and you'll soon see. You foot. So the game starts up and we have a cutscene.
Last bullet.
Oh. Well, this isn't going to be a very long shooting game, is it? And so far, I've got to say, I'm starting to understand why the game was banned in other territories. It was banned because they couldn't see any of it. Time to pick a level, then, I guess. Oh, that's pleasant. Yes! We're going to the crack house! And just in case you didn't see it, the level description has you covered. Crack house. Crack house. One of New York's many crack houses. Sorry, are we going to a crack house? I don't know, but wherever we're going, the Punisher's heading there with a spring in his step. Shooting baddies, shooting baddies, shooting baddies. That's all that's really going on here. And hey, look, the game incentivizes you to not mindlessly kill innocents in order to get your own health back. So why was this banned? It all seems above board to me. And just look at how the Punisher moves. That's not a raving lunatic looking to shoot up a zoo. That's your neighbor having a comfortable jog in a trench coat. Now that I say that out loud, actually, yeah, that's almost scarier. Don't talk to that neighbor.
Hey, you're the Punisher. Thanks, man.
For what?
For saving my life?
Right.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, the only thing here that made me feel even vaguely uncomfortable is a button that switches the game to an ear-sniffing camera. Yep, I'm sorry, I am totally failing to see why any of this was deemed controversial. You're a guy taking out drug dealers who are shooting at you first. What's not to love? And just listen to the noises they make. And even if you think you can go over the top and pull the trigger on random civilians,
I don't kill innocents.
you actually aren't allowed to. Trust me, I tried.
Why can't I kill the innocent?
My favourite parts of the game, though, are when you find a proper hard badass taunting you from behind a rifle, and then a few seconds later they immediately change their mind.
I don't do drugs, man. I just live here. Okay, I do drugs.
Come on, this is funny. Punisher is funny. You can't ban something for being funny. Why do you think I haven't been banned yet? Even the most up-close and personal violent moments, the interrogations, aren't that bad at all. And once again, the game tells you not to overdo them, otherwise you lose points and don't get the mission information you need. So it's in your best interest to keep the game rated PG-13. To be fair though, this one was easily the nastiest. Forcing a man's face in between the legs of another man's corpse. Hey man, are you happy to see me? Or is that rigor mortis? I don't know, guys. Maybe this version of the game is more censored than I gave it credit for. Perhaps we should take a look at some footage from the original uncut PC version, and maybe we'll see what the big deal was. Okay, so these are the reason the game was in its naughty 40s. That at least makes a little more sense, but at the same time, come on, in an age of Mortal Kombat, this stuff isn't too over the top. Maybe except this. Ooh, Timmy, your eye is gone. The Xbox version I've been playing for this video censored all of these moments by slapping a high contrast black and white filter on top and often changing the camera angles so you don't see what really happens. But like, just because you move the camera away from the woodcutter doesn't mean I don't see the man going inside the woodcutter. It's still very violent, and some of these changes are outright dumb. Yes, a black and white filter doesn't change the fact that Harold's face got chewed off. Yes, I can still see Barry's head getting kicked into the concrete side of a water fountain with rivers of blood flying everywhere. And yes, I can still see that we are beating Richard's head against a toilet. And no amount of black and white will convince me that that isn't a toilet. Why did they censor a John? Furthermore, in the exact same version of the game, this is okay, this is okay, and this is okay. But apparently, hitting your head on a pooey seat is pushing the envelope too far. The game itself is good fun though. It isn't stellar, good lord, but if you want a game that's just running around and shooting people with double trigger action, you can sure do a lot worse. You play as the Punisher, also known as Frank Castle. I went to Frank Castle once. The food was shit. Where you murder as many criminals as possible while the police go, "Oh no, stop it, you can't do that." And when you're done with all the killing, you can go and unwind with a bit of bowling. Whee! It's basically Max Payne, but with a way worse diving mechanic. Ow! But why was it banned or censored? No clue. It's only a lump of pixels. Look at this, the Punisher doesn't even climb ladders angrily. That's the ladder climb of a gentleman.
In my pants.
But I don't know, my opinion means dick. So what do you think, Spider-Man? Oh, Spider-Man. You need to be banned. Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay, I wasn't ready for this right now. Okay, everybody, you are about to see the most explicit image in the entire video, so if you can't handle it, look away right now!
Oh, that's a nice collection you've got.
And the next game we'll be taking a look at is kind of along the same lines as the Punisher, except way more violent, way more explicit, way more controversial, and has indeed been banned in multiple countries due to its gory and disturbing content. So, before we carry on, I just need to do something quick before we begin. Hello?
Hello, Jim.
Can I play Manhunt 2?
Yes, you can.
Thanks, Mum. Yep, here it is. Manhunt 2. Now we're getting into the really dodgy territory. The back of the box says it's an 18 for very strong, bloody, and sadistic violence, and it is not lying, because that is basically all this is. All you need to do is head for Wikipedia, search for Manhunt 2, and click on that tempting little controversy tab, and you'll see how much trouble this game had even before it was rumoured to be in development. Lawsuits, alleged links to murders, rejected ratings, 4 countries not accepting censored versions of the game at all, which are still banned to this day, and none other than Hillary Clinton writing a personal letter to the ESRB requesting the American rating be changed from mature to adult only. Gaming in the Clinton years indeed. Manhunt 2. The pervs redirects here. For other uses, see perv.
So once again, just like the Punisher, what I'm holding here is the censored version of the 2007 original game. The original of which was then later released by Rockstar in 2009 on Halloween for PCs. And the UK and Ireland weren't allowed to sell it. But I found a copy. And I played it. FBI, open up! Nah, I'm good. Ah, fuck! Put your hands in the air! Yes, they are. No! Sorry, what? I'm very turned on right now! I'm gonna go out and try this again.
Wait, the FBI aren't even in the script.
Say another word and I'll shoot! Oh, what is this? A manhunt? Do you have a banned copy of Manhunt 2?
Yes, I do!
Oh, sweet, can I play it?
Ah, come here, you.
This is the way the farmers ride. Gallop, gallop.
So to start with, the game gives you a tutorial section all about using your mouse to perform executions. And if these sounds are only a taste of what's about to happen, I desperately want to see the rest. For those of you too much of a whiny little bitch to find out yourself, Manhunt 2 is a stealth horror game with light combat elements, the funniest body carrying animation I've ever seen, and a lot, and I mean a lot, of killing. My god, there's so much killing. And in toilets again, seems to be a running theme, but I'm clearly not very good at the killing because this guy just hung himself, yet his lifeless body still managed to knock me out. You can kill people with basically anything. Syringes, pocket knives, sledgehammers, broken bottles, crowbars, shards of glass, baseball bats, fire axes, and someone's head. But I don't think this is why the game was banned all over the world. I reckon it's because we get to see the inside of your own body. Oh, hello there. You're having a nice brown time. I'm gonna leave you to it. Well, I may be dead, but at least no one's been sick all over me. Oh no! To call Manhunt 2 nothing but sadistic violence, though, is quite unfair. Because it's also horny. One of the first areas you explore is an S&M dungeon run by a man with a tuba for a head. And it even has a secret basement, a lot like the movie Postal, with people torturing other people for sport. But if they like doing that so much, I guess they won't mind if I do it back to them. I'm torturing! I mean, don't get me wrong, some of these executions are brutal. I was uncomfortable a few times, even. And the fact that you are actively rewarded more style points for charging your stealth attacks for even more savage kills is probably what rubbed people the wrong way back then. But come on, what's the point in killing anyone if you can't do it in style? And just like the Punisher, the PS2 version I have here is censored. But unlike the Punisher, it's censored in a much more aggressive way. Many executions and ways to kill are outright removed, and whenever you do activate an execution of any type, you get layers on top of layers of the ugliest filters and effects I've ever seen. Glitches, jitters, color bleeding, blurring, caked onto the screen. It'll give you a headache. And to be honest, because you can't see what the hell is even going on, your imagination ends up doing most of the work, which makes these executions appear even more sadistic than the uncut version. I mean, if you walk up behind someone with a syringe to stab them with the syringe, how does censoring it change the fact I'm still stabbing someone with a syringe? This is all your fault, you scab! And you know what else I don't know? Why Australia are so strict with video games in particular. Seriously, out of every country that I looked into for lists of banned games or whatever, I was shocked to see how heavily regulated Australia were in particular for banning video games. I mean, if I did a video about the stuff that they've banned alone, I'd be here all day. They banned an NFL Blitz game because of drugs. They banned Mark Echo's Getting Up for promoting graffiti. They banned 50 Cent Bulletproof because they don't like 50 Cent. I don't want to rule out Australia entirely, though, so let's take a look at a few games that they've banned. I mean, after all, we do share a queen. She's mine! And this is something that really surprised me. The UK weren't okay with the original Carmageddon, we weren't okay with the original Punisher, we're still not okay with the original Manhunt 2, but Postal 2, shove that shit on the shelf! After all, it only has violence and drugs in it, it's not like we get our wangs out. But what is Postal 2, I hear you ask? Well, have you ever woken up one day and thought, oh, I want to steal the neighbour's cat, shove its asshole on the end of a gun, and shoot cowboys in the head through the cat's asshole before heading off to do the laundry? That is Postal 2. Postal 2. Ever had one of those days?
Yes, every day.
So how old do you need to be to play this game? 18! 18! 18! 18! For God's sake, don't play this if you aren't 18! Well, I'm 27. I am a bit worried about showing this game off on this video though, because the gameplay description alone is enough to make me nervous. 5 days in a week. Multiple errands per day. Whoa, shit! Features: Epic's Unreal Warfare engine, liquid dynamics, sophisticated AI, absurd over-the-top violent content, and the most exciting gameplay addition of all, Gary Coleman. The game begins, and the very first thing we see is a strange man having a little dance with a cat, followed by a fart. And if that doesn't set the tone, I don't know what will.
I made a list of errands for you on the fridge.
Jesus, woman.
This is our lovable and relatable main character, everybody. He's very nice. And he also has a dog that has a bit of a problem. Luckily, though, I know just how to fix it. Ugh! Wee! Our game can't have wee in it! Ban it right now! Dogs don't wee in real life! And just like the back of the box said, we have a day of the week and we have an errand. So it's time for us to go and collect our monthly paycheck from our job. So far, this is pretty mundane stuff. We're just going to the office right now. And on the way, we play a little bit of bastard fish and then follow mushroom-shaped police officers into Chinese restaurants called Cock Asian where they sell the crappy cheeseburger. I'm really failing to see the controversy so far. Hey you, why are you going into that condemned building?
Get the hell out of here, you lunatic!
Oh. When we get to the office, we then come across some protesters telling us how disgusting video games are, and I've got to say, they do bring up some good points, such as bottom, and this is where you figure out that you actually have a job at the game developers that make the Postal games themselves, running with scissors. We pick up our check, and then there's a cutscene where the protesters decide they've had enough of going bah, 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 bah. So they suddenly grab a load of assault rifles and storm the building. But I'm not here to kill these innocent people with a right to protest, I'm here to shoot people who insult me.
How about some of this? What?
Okay, right then. I gave all of you a chance. I tried to let you leave peacefully, but you've left me no choice but to shoot my way out. Why do you look like you're sitting on a horse? Hey there, lady. Where the hell are you going, walking like a monkey? Help me! It's gunfire! Better run into the building where the gunfire came from! Oh, hello there, PC plod. Nothing to see here. I was just protesting, and then I thought I'd fuck you! Phew, this day is already getting a little too much for me. I mean, this lady was so overwhelmed by everything, she fainted and died on the spot. Oh, Christ, now the butcher's after me. What did I ever do to you? Oh, man, this is not good. Absolutely everyone and their mother is out to get me now, so it's time for me to run away, hide in a tunnel, and set these homeless people on fire.
Ow!
Well, that was a flop. Yeah, I really should have seen that coming, shouldn't I? Gotta say, though, I had no idea that my coat was part of my own skin. Why does it look like burned flesh?
Freak.
Here we are again, back to life like nothing happened. A fresh slate, a new start, and I'm here to help this community flourish with me and my dog. Are you shooting my dog? Good job, boy! Ah, but now the rest of the police are gunning for me after my dog killed another dog. That isn't right. What else am I supposed to do here? I mean, I haven't tried every key on the keyboard yet, so what happens if I press... Did I just unzip my flies?
That's the ticket.
Ow!
Zip up your pants.
Oh, can it, lady? You can't tell me what to do. Here, take that. Yeah, rub it right in. It's good for your skin. How much urine does this guy have? It's just a never-ending torrent of piss. It won't stop. And the pressure behind it. Look at my aim. There's no splashes off to the side or anything. And why does it look like Sunny D? I love this game. Oh, hello. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Gangley. You know what you could do with? A drink?
That's the ticket.
Well, would you look at that? Even though I've been doing my civic duty to provide free lemonade to the public during a hot day, I got arrested. I could always try and fight my way out with some matches and tripping the fire alarm, but nah, I'm too embarrassed. There's only one right way out for me. Okay, well, I'm not happy with the way any of that turned out, so I'm going to try all of this again. And you know what the funny thing about Postal 2 is? If you want to, you don't ever have to draw your weapon or fire it. Like the box says, you have a list of errands to run, you have a shitty little life in a shitty little house with shitty little curtains, and you are left to deal with the issues however you want to. Sure, you could massacre the entire town, set them on fire, and then piss all over them to put them out, but you can equally just find all of the neighborhood dogs and feed them treats, eat all of the dog treats yourself, or stand patiently in a corner shop queue and legally buy your goat's milk for the wife. Ban it! Hang on, what's this? Employees only, infidels keep out. Well, why? What's in here that I shouldn't see?
Look, I get that this is horrible and offensive. I know that. But it's so damn stupid! How could you not love this, Australia?
Time to cash my check into the bank, I guess. And after a few delays, I managed to get the money into my account with no sweat. But oh no! Now the police have the bank surrounded, and I don't know why. Right, time to go into panic mode, and the only way out I can think of is to head to the power generators at the back of the bank, cover them in oil, set them on fire, and wait for the whole building to blow up. Oh, look at this, a river. What happens if I wee in it? Now it's Tuesday, and I have a petition that nobody is willing to sign.
Would you please sign my petition?
What are you doing in here?
Well, fine. If none of you want to sign this form, I'll set the marching band on fire. That'll teach you. Oh, hey there, young man. Want to sign my petition? Is he getting faster? So in conclusion, why were we okay with this in 2002, but absolutely nothing else I've talked about in this video so far? No idea. Maybe during that year, the UK celebrated No Pussy June, I don't know. And you know what else Australia initially banned outright, but we managed to get totally uncensored on GameCube and Xbox? BMX XXX, which, if you search for footage on YouTube for, means you'll end up typing BMX XXX Xbox. And this is why spacebars are very important, otherwise you'll end up going for a drink at the Threelms. And this game is particularly special because it's the first one we've seen so far with a special parental advisory sticker on the case, specifically because of its inclusion of extremely vulgar dialogue, actual footage of real-life nudity, and totally topless bikers that you can play as. BMX XXX takes the sport back to where it all began. On the street, in the street, and all over the street. Yeah, there's so much street in this game, you can't handle the street. We're in the street, on the street, under the street, over the street, inside the street. We are so inside the street, we're fornicating with it. We are so deep inside the street, we were conceived and birthed from it. It's harder, it's faster, and it's got XXX rated gameplay written all over it, with hookers, pimps, wackos, and dogs on heat. If you want hardcore, look no further. Yeah, do you want dogs on heat? Then play the booby biker game. Creator Rider. BMX's state-of-the-art Creator Rider empowers you to build virtually any type of male and female from head to toe. Yeah, exactly. That's the key word we're looking at here. Empowers. This is such an empowering video game. I mean, take a look at this bonus FMV clip of a random broad in a strip club, and you tell me that's not empowering. Speaking of, it's time for us to create our rider, and our default... Our default character is a man with a thumb for a head. I know you can't really improve on perfection, but I've got to at least try. I've got to go the full hog here, so here we go. Overweight man with a six-pack and lingerie. But that's not what you're here to see, is it? No. You're here to see 2002 original Xbox breeds, aren't you? Okay, fair enough. So let's go back to Creator Rider, find a female rider, and see what we can do. There's no topless option? What? But I wanted to see a pair of 12 polygon breeds! One of the main controversial selling points of this game nearly 20 years ago was that it had bare honkers in it, and you can't even let me have that right out of the gate? Well, fine. I didn't want to do this exactly, but if you're not gonna let me do that, then you've given me absolutely no choice but to pick the stupidest option from every single category of the creation menu. Everyone, meet Windy, the queen of messing herself and sitting in it. Now... it's time to ride the bike. Oh my god. Oh, look at this guy's going. Come on, Windy, do a manual. Ooh. Oh, wait, no, I can't leave the level. Turn around, Windy, turn around. You know what? I don't even care that we didn't get to see 2002 video game breach. This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. You ever seen a half-naked skinny woman fall off of a BMX and immediately turn into a bridge? Well, now you have. Stairs? Pfft, who needs stairs? We've got facial hair and a nappy. Stairs don't apply to us. Okay, Windy, time for a backflip. Oh no, Windy, your beautiful legs.
Okay, so to be fair, Australia did eventually get this game with all of the sex references and vulgar content removed, but that wasn't until way later when all of the controversial hype already died down. So at the end of the day, what you're left with at the core is a BMXing game. And that's a shame because the game is shit.
As it turns out, BMX XXX Xbox was originally supposed to be the third game in the Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX franchise before Dave Mirra himself caught on how tasteless and terrible the final game was going to be and threatened to sue Acclaim unless all mention of him or implications he endorsed it were removed. And that explains everything for why I hate playing this, because I don't like the Dave Mirra games. They're just a slower, stiffer, and more restrictive Tony Hawk to me. And that's when they work properly. But that's the thing with BMX XXX. It's based on a game I already don't like, and it doesn't work properly. Grinds cancel out for absolutely no reason at all. Grinds randomly don't activate for no reason at all. The camera is too close to you, meaning you get stuck in between the ramps for no reason at all. You fall off your bike randomly for no reason at all. The camera is too close to you, meaning you get... It's absolutely unplayable, and I know this is my fault, but I'm starting to get sick of looking at this overgrown, skinny clown baby, so surely there has to be a way for us to see what else is hiding on this disc. Aha! The cheat menu. Perfect. Unlock absolutely everything, and just for the hell of it, extra bouncy crash mode. Time to go back to Create a Rider, and let's see if this time we can get... What?
Yeah, sorry about the pixelation. I don't want YouTube to take this video down entirely, but trust me, you can see them. And they have a huge vein. And with this newfound power at my disposal, here is my newest creation.
Everyone, meet Rough Windy. If she was road legal, she'd be all-wheel drive. And don't worry everyone, just in case you really wanted to, you can adjust the size of her chest. Except it doesn't change the size of her chest at all, it just inflates the bones above them instead, because I'm sure somebody finds that hot.
So what happens when you let loose a hefty topless woman with a pair of white underpants and a traffic cone on her head onto a BMX and activate super bouncy crash mode?
Oops, I guess Rough Windy was too heavy and she fell through the floor. The game broke, what a shame.
Okay then, so now I want to take a look at some banned or controversial games that were just never released in the UK whatsoever, for whatever reason. They never made it to the shelves. You know, like Thrill Kill on the PS1.
Sorry, I don't need your mouth. I've actually got a physical version. What a bellend.
So a few years ago, I made a video about Thrill Kill, a PS1 game that was never actually released at all from how controversial it was back in 1998. But since that video, I managed to grab myself a custom-made physical copy on eBay with a manual, soundtrack, and everything. Even better, it actually works on my hacked PS2, and it's just as I remember it. Right down to the flames that cut off from the bottom of the screen to make it look like they're really there. Belladonna with the stringy poo coming out of her head, Mammoth, who reminds me of a fig, Dr. Faustus, who might as well be called Dr. Faucet because he looks like a tap, and Cletus, who has an alternate costume where he takes some of the blood from around his face and uses it to stick a wig on. And then of course there's the game itself in all of its glory, complete with the AI that all do nothing but gang up on you and tear your head off like you're a grandma on Black Friday, and everything else about the game being nowhere near as deserving to be banned as it was when I first laid eyes on it. There were plenty of games just as violent, if not more violent than this on the PS1 that came out way before Thrill Kill, and even if this was the most gruesome and offensive game of all time, it's still just as good as this lady's costume of a traffic light.
Hang on, I think I know why this game was really banned. You don't need to hide it from me. It's because it had a cross-eyed costume, isn't it?
It's a totally aimless, button-mashing 4-player fighter with no strategy, nothing to learn, a terrible auto-lock-on, no individual health bars to strategize who you should knock out, matches that go on forever in a million rooms shaped like a box, repetitive animations, and the only really suggestive content being a big burly man in tight-fitting leather with a chain whip and a lady doing a moan. Not to mention, I don't think I can ever unsee the image of a small man on stilts with a thong dressing up like a member of the Village People.
Don't get me wrong, I'm more than happy to have this on my shelf as a cool little custom piece of gaming history that was never meant to be sold. But I just don't think the game is very good. So how about we take a look at another game that was deemed so controversial it never even made it to the UK? Like the Guy game. This is no.
Why, hello there, ladies. You look clean.
Hang on, this is the Guy game. Where's the men?
The Guy game is a game all about answering trivia questions. Yeah, you didn't see that coming, did you? Look, just because guys may be slobbering lust monsters doesn't mean we aren't smart, and the Guy game is here to truly test your knowledge in all the right ways. With boob! The Guy game is what happens when a load of morons go to spring break with a few cameras, a few microphones, and then coax a load of bimbos that stink of regret into playing a game where if they get an answer to a trivia question wrong, they suffer the indignity of exposing themselves to a man-sized ferret. But don't worry, if you get a question wrong, you don't need to expose anything.
Well, you could have told me earlier.
The Guy game is aimed squarely at testosterone-laden college students, spring breakers, and, well, any red-blooded American guy. Yeah, boys, this is a man's game for grown-up manly manly men. Couldn't you tell from this manly face on the front cover? Doesn't that get you in the mood to see some girls? You bring the party and we'll supply the game. You'll score every time.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm really scoring right now. Alone, in the dark, in my pants, playing PlayStation 2.
How's your game?
Well, I'm playing a video game instead of seeing real women, so my game is just dandy.
I don't know about you lot, but I can't wait to see the assets of Press, VP, Tress, and A-hole. So let's boot the game up. After everything we've seen so far, even the word loading is nasty.
Oh yeah. I'm having a right load.
Yay! Here's the intro FMV cutscene letting us know what the hell we're getting ourselves into. Oh god, please no. Please don't tell me that this game has commentary from this hog. Well, I think it would be downright rude to start the game without meeting the babes first, so let's check out some of the people we'll be looking at today. Ramona, what do you look for in a man? His jugular vein? Okay. Zoe, ultimate dream, to be able to jog without pain. Now that's a woman we can all aspire to be. Simone, I lost my virginity, but I still have the box it came in.
Awesome, can you ship it over to me?
Oh, wow. I didn't know that Ronald Reagan was a double D cup. Unfortunately, though, this is probably the best of the talent we're going to be seeing because the rest of the women here...
I'm attracted to short guys because they like me.
What do you look for in a man?
Tall.
Aren't very bright.
Maybe I'm being too harsh, so let's go to the behind-the-scenes photos and see if there's any more intelligent people lurking in there. Hot! Oh, I can smell the testosterone.
My name is... Sticky, and to start with, we only have one episode, but that's not a big deal. Okay, we also need a profile name, and... Big Daddy was the default, so I'm gonna change it only a tiny bit. Perfect. The rules of this trivia game are very simple. Don't bother getting any questions right because it doesn't matter. Instead, if you want to get anywhere in this game and unlock further episodes, that's entirely down to how well you can randomly guess if the brazen hussy you're talking to will be able to get the same question right or wrong. Or if you're feeling extra dangerous, you'll need to guess what wrong answer they will give in the special round of titwits. If you guess wrong too many times, this woman appears and berates you.
What's wrong with you? Don't you want to see titties?
Yes!
But the more times you guess correctly, the more you add to the patented flashometer, and the more norks you get to see. Level 1 is soft and squishy, where everything gets censored with a Guy game logo, meaning some poor soul had to keyframe animate this logo on top of every single woman.
Luckily, I don't mind boobs, but the Guy game logo?
Level 2 is sorta chubby, which if I ever hear a dong described as that again, I'll cut it off. And that's when the women end up going from logo censoring to pixelation.
Squares!
Capping this off is level 3, super stiff, where the censoring is totally gone and the true light of God bursts from... Oh, and by the way, every time you move the flashometer along, it comes... Why? And if all of this gets a little bit too much, you know, like if you can't handle the unbridled sexiness going on, it's okay, because you can quit the game whenever you want with the hottie bagger. This game is terrible. A quiz game is nothing without a good host, though, and the Guy game doesn't disappoint with Matt Sadler.
I'm trying to be an RN.
Training to be an RN, a nurse. Yeah, and how about you?
Same thing.
I'm picturing the two of you in nurses' outfits as we speak, so it's great. Awesome.
He's delightful. Although our side commentators, Steve and Dick,
A college student who's working as a waitress. When you ask her for food, she brings it to you.
are definitely a close second.
Okay, I'll do my best not to give you a hard one. But I gotta tell you, I got a hard one.
Stephanie is now causing problems with my shorts.
If anything, I think there's only one missing piece that would complete this puzzle and make the game perfect. PS2 buzz controllers.
1, 2, 3.
Which is the birthplace of the King of Pants?
Oh, and by the way, when I started this match, I made sure that balls were turned on. So yeah. When can we see the mat? And at this point, I don't even know if the flashometer is how uncensored you're able to make the game, or how much blood you're able to add to Matt Sadler's face, because the further you get, he just gets redder and redder. He's like a ripening little strawberry. He looks like he's about to burst. Has he not seen a woman before?
Big penises, all of us.
You want to know the sleaziest part of all of this, though? This red-faced pomegranate getting all worked up and sweaty, gawking over all of these 18-year-old college women is 32. And just so I'm clear, the age gap isn't the problem. I just find it really funny to think that this guy has had such bad luck with women for over a decade of his adult life that the only way he's able to see jugs is by setting up a PS2 trivia game with questions about Miles Davis, Monopoly, particle science, and Star Trek. He knows these ladies are gonna get them all wrong. He knows that means he'll see them all, and he loves it. Or maybe he doesn't, because at the end of it, he only ends up as semi-flaccid.
I'm on a mission in this round.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna see him.
Hey, you want to know what really gets me going? Schindler's List. Oh look, it's a game about throwing balls into a load of targets for 4 minutes straight. You know, what every hot-blooded American guy loves to do in the middle of their happy time. If I ever match with somebody on Tinder, I want to see if they can score more than 402,000 on balls shots. I want to know they're worthy enough for my body.
Elephant eggs are really big.
Okay, so these women may be thick, but at the very least, they were all here of their own consent and were all of perfectly legal age. 19, 20, 23, 20, 20, 19, 17. Yeah, so as it turns out, this game was not only never released anywhere else in the world other than the States for its content, but it was eventually taken off the shelves entirely because one girl in one of the very final episodes of the game was allegedly under legal age when she decided to throw herself on camera. I am holding a disc that contains illegal boob in it. It's got to be destroyed. I can't let anybody get their hands on this ever again. And more importantly, it doesn't match with my PS2 shelf! So that game has really winded me and I'm starting to run on fumes, so let's end this video off by taking a look at what I think is the best, which I have saved for last. Sex Vixens from Space. A game that the UK government hated so much that when we heard about a shipment coming over in 1989, British Customs actually grabbed a hold of every copy that they could and physically destroyed them, never allowing them to be sold by any UK retailer ever again. Yes, I'm not joking. Look it up. I got this from Canada. Yes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'm the only person in this country that owns an actual physical copy of Sex Vixens from Space. And guess what the game came on? Floppies. But I don't happen to own a working Amiga, so it's time to jump onto an emulator. Right, here we are at the boot up screen. Oh, and there's the copyright protection instructions, so all I've got to do is type in the... Oh. Yeah, it turns out that every time you boot this ROM up, the message that tells you what word to type in from the manual that comes with the game in order to prove that you own the game stays on the screen for less than 2 seconds. So shit, what am I supposed to do now? Hello?
Object not found.
Where's the naked?
Object not found.
So eventually I ended up just typing in every single word from the instruction manual into this thing, just praying to God that it would eventually boot up. And lo and behold, I got it working. Whoa! The stuff! Ori, you are Captain Brad Stallion, owner and operator of the one-man space vehicle known throughout the galaxy as Big Thruster. For years, there have been rumors about this tribe, a colony of beautiful, sex-starved women hidden somewhere in space. According to many legends, they suddenly appear, raid the male-dominated rural planetary systems with their sex ray gun, leaving them—
No! Stop there! The story is perfect. I don't need to read anymore.
So here we go, the game has begun. You are in deep space aboard Big Thruster. I wonder why they call it that! And then you're thrown into a point-and-click interface where you can click on objects, look into your inventory, move north, east, south, and west, and type exact and specific commands onto the screen to interact with some other objects that you think you should just be able to click on, but the game doesn't like to explain that one, so good luck and have a nice thrust. What you've got to do next is absolutely beyond my comprehension, though. The game just leaves you to figure out everything on your own, and with no music, no sound effects, no hints, and no nothing, you need to know what direction to walk, what to type and where, what to click on, and what to use from your inventory on what item. That sometimes means you got to type how you want to use the thing instead of just clicking it.
Why is this so complicated? I just want to see some big moo-moo milkers.
I didn't spend too much time on this one. It's awful. The best I was able to do was make the spaceship move, and I couldn't even land it. But I don't want to miss out on Amiga computer bonking, so let's look up a walkthrough. How do we play this game? Space N, push button, D, blast off, USSS, open SEU, get car.
No thanks, I'm looking it up online. What was so bad about this game that the UK customs team just had to destroy all of them? Is that it? It's the policeman! They've come to destroy my sex vixens from Space Game! Well, what else should I have expected? We're still pretty sensitive even today, aren't we? I mean, we live in a world now where people got genuinely angry and upset that the upcoming Cuphead DLC had a female character in it. Why? Why does anyone care? She's a cup! Why does the gender matter? Nobody wants to fuck a cup!
Please subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, or I'll piss on your cat.
Special thank you to my executive producers on my Patreon page in the description below. Lucifer1307, Starman Stubbs, Anders Amdel, Basil, Blake Brown, Captain Demersan, Dave Marshall, Dredge and Bungo, Enerjack5, Eric Branke, Exopaz, Hat Foodini, Heartfire, Inflim, Iron Ninja, Mitchell Reed, Ramen War 1485, Raven Tora, Red Eye Critic, Skullman, Slowponk, TARDIS Type 40, The Game Shed, The Real Kit Nathaniels, Try Tressler, Tudor Apples, Whirlwind Abyss, Flick Joseph, Dan and Alex, MR Rushton, Bilal Choudhury, Saviour of Light, Chris Rainbird, Dylan Crawler, Harper Onions, Lewis McNamara, and Terrell. Stan.